Exactly how you can go from 0 to 10,000 followers in the next 30 days on Instagram, or your money back. So you want to blow up on Instagram. That's probably why you clicked on this video. I am your guy, and this is the video that you need to watch to get results. So make sure you stick around. My name's Josh Ryan. I'm from New Zealand. I'm a 20-year-old, and I've grown a bunch of pages on Instagram well into the hundreds of thousands of followers. And now I'm here making this video for you to show you how you can do the same. I even recorded my very own series where I grew an account from 0 to 10,000 followers in 30 days, and you can watch that. It'll pop up somewhere on the screen. But today, I'm gonna summarize everything you need to know to smash it on Instagram and blow up your account to 10,000 followers in the next 30 days in 2020, etc., without all the fluff and without charging you thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to learn. Let's go. So Instagram comes down to 5 main pillars, and think of it like a building. If you only have 3 of the pillars instead of 5, it's probably going to fall over and not do very well. However, if you have all 5, chances are you're going to have a nice, strong, secure building. And where I'm going with this is basically you need to know these 5 and you need to be able to get results with them, understand them, and apply it. So make sure you watch the entire video, because if you just watch a couple of these and then click off and go watch that funny cat video or the webinar for the ad that you saw running, etc., you're probably not going to get results if you only know a couple of these steps. So without further ado, let's dive into the 5 things you need to know. Number 1 is niche. Picking the right niche is super, super important if you want to do well on Instagram. Number 2 is bio. You want to set up your bio in a way that conveys what your account is all about, the value people are going to get from following you, and hopefully that will turn these people who are coming across your account from random people on the internet into followers and people who are a part of your audience. Number 3 is content, where to source content and how to post content that's going to go viral pretty much every single time, and how to find content that does well. Number 4 is consistency, the consistent actions that you need to take to get results on Instagram. And number 5 is networking, which is the key to scaling your growth upwards beyond 10K. It'll help you before 10,000 followers, but this is something really important, a really important foundation that'll take you from 10K to 100K to 500K, etc., like I've done with my pages. Now, as mentioned, you need all 5 of these to do well and to get consistent results on Instagram, so make sure you stay till the end of this video. Without further ado, let's dive right into the specifics of these 5 pillars. Number 1, niche. Pick a niche that you enjoy. Don't go pick the niche cycling just because you know cyclists have got a lot of money to spend. If you don't actually ride bikes, you're not a cyclist and you just hate. This won't work because not only are you not going to have any idea of how to relate to your audience, but you're also not going to know what content they want to post, and you'll probably get bored of it pretty darn quick, especially if you don't get results in the first couple hours. It just won't work. Nor should you choose to go into the business niche like some of my accounts if you aren't actually interested in business and you have no form of success in business, so you can't really offer people any unique value. You want to go ahead and, as mentioned, pick something that you enjoy to talk about, that you would talk about with your friend for hours on end, and then you can build a community of other people who are just like that, and you can post all day long talking about the stuff you love talking about, and you're going to build a massive audience of people who also love talking about that because they will see that genuine passion that you have for it. And over time, that's just going to snowball, and you'll build a massive audience that's going to make you a ton of money. Whether it be arts and crafts, a sport, a video game, a hobby, literally anything that you want that you would enjoy talking about to someone else that is also passionate about that, that's what you want to go for. This way, as mentioned, you can better relate to your audience. You know what they're like, you know what they want, and that's because you are a part of your audience and you're, I guess, solving a problem that you would want. You would follow an account like this, create an account that you would follow. So now that you've got your niche sorted, you want to pick a username. My rule of thumb is no numbers and a maximum of 1 underscore or dot in your username. Hence, I've got an account called millionaire.dream. It's nice, it's crisp, it's clean. 1 dot, no numbers, nice and simple. Other ones in my account, so there's income notebook, there's no dots, no underscores in that, nice and clean. And try and find a name where you don't have to have numbers, because the easier it is for someone to remember, then the more likely people will remember your account. And if numbers come into play and it is like a crucial part of it for whatever reason, like fitness 24/7 or hustle 24/7, if it like sort of comes into play like that, then it can be okay, but I wouldn't be like golf lover 64, like just because golf lover was taken. Don't just throw a number on there. Get a bit more creative. Use a thesaurus.
Nice.
And this way you can get a bit more creative with things, find some other words that you can supplement your current ones with, and you should be fine. Okay, pillar number 2 is setting up your bio. Now this is really, really important. First, you want to go pick a logo. Now you can either go onto Google and search for clip art if you're in a specific niche. You can search travel clip art into Google and then just change the settings to make it clip art, and that's already going to give you a ton of things you could use as a logo. The other thing you can do is jump into Canva and use that to create something, get some design skills going, and build whatever. If you really, really don't like designing and you haven't found any clip art, you can go to Fiverr, but I would suggest you just learn it anyway, because it's a very good skill to have in a digital economy. Then what you want to do is you want to include 2 to 3 keywords that you want to rank for in your name, not your username. Please notice these two are separate. Your username is your @ your name is the name that pops up under your logo. If you look at Instagram, I have a screenshot up here of where your name lies. You want to have different keywords here than is in your username. This basically means more people can find you. For example, I've got millionaire.dream, and in my name it's inspiration, motivation, and something else, business or something like that, which means if someone searches millionaire, I show up. If they search inspiration, I show up. If they search motivation, if they search dream, millionaire dream, business, etc., I'm showing up. It just creates more ways for people to find you. Then you want to write a nice short, sharp bio. What I like to do is use about 4 to 5 lines, one being a call to action to follow, another 2 which are basically explaining what your account is about, and then the 4th one can be a bit random. I often like to, once I've grown an account, because most of my pages are bigger, use this as a call to action to the bio link, but it's totally up to you. So for example, the first line could be follow for daily tennis highlights. The second line could be best tennis highlights on Instagram. The third one could be plus stats and interviews. And the 4th one could be grab our free ebook with the pointing down emoji going down to the link below it. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly that format. Of course, you can do whatever. I would suggest go and look at a few other pages in your niche, get some inspiration. Don't copy them, but sort of look at what the good pages are doing and try and, replicate that and add your own unique spin to it. Get creative. Okay, number 3, moving on to content. Now, what I would do for content is find 10 pages in your niche between 20k and 100k followers. What you want to do is you want to look at their average engagement and scrape the top 20% of content from their page. Grab this either with a screenshot or download a video downloader, which can, free app from the App Store, which will download the videos for you. And you've now found yourself a ton of content that you can use. Now, not only is this content already performing well in your niche, but because you're grabbing it from smaller pages, it hasn't been saturated by being posted on the big ones, which means it's more likely to grow your followers more because people haven't seen it as much and it's more, authentic or more original. Now, make sure you post 3 times every single day, which might seem like a lot, but with one of these pages, it's actually pretty easy. It's going to take you 5 to 10 minutes max. 3 times a day. And if you don't have 15 minutes to invest into growing an Instagram account, you probably should not be watching this video. You want to make sure that all your content is about one niche. Don't create like a sports page and then have like some videos about football, some videos about tennis, some videos about rock climbing, some videos about rugby, because you're going to like split your audience up so much. You want to have it all about one specific niche that people are going to love and, go from there, because then you build a targeted group of fans, which not only makes it easier to grow, but easier to monetize as well. Like if you run a football page, like proper football, like Barcelona, not like that American football stuff, whatever you call that, then you want to go ahead and maybe you post an awesome clip of Messi tearing apart a defense, scoring an amazing goal. You can say, what a goal Messi scored against Real Madrid this morning, rate it 1 to 10. And then below that, you want to have something along the lines of follow at and then your username, and have that like 2 to 3 times, which means when someone either tags their friend in it or they see it in the explore page or on the hashtag pages, who aren't following you, they can simply see that. It's just another way to increase the amount of, or the percentage of people who see your content that turn into followers. Now, when it comes to hashtags, I do have a video all about that, but long story short, you want to include 20 hashtags related to your niche that have been somewhere between 50,000 posts and 5 million posts. This way they're small enough for you to rank on, but they're also large enough so that you're going to get some traction for ranking on them. Okay, moving on to pillar number 4, which is arguably the most important pillar, and that is consistency. Now, none of this will work without consistency. Even if you go ahead and post 10 posts today and 8 posts tomorrow and just do really, really hard for a week, and then you just sort of ignore it for 2 weeks, you're not going to get results. You need to stick at this like anything consistently over time, and that's the only way you can get good at anything, I promise you. So you have a good niche, you have a good page, you know how to find good content. Consistency is the next key. Post 3+ times, as I mentioned, every single day. Include the hashtags, have some nice short punchy captions, and make sure you don't miss a day. Just keep at it, and the momentum will build with your account. Even if it's like the first day you gain 10 followers, and then the next day you get 11, and then 12, and then 13, and then 15, and then 20, and then 25. Even if it's small at first, it snowballs because it just keeps growing. The more content you put out there, the bigger your audience grows, the faster your page will grow. I can assure you that if you do this, if you follow all the steps I've talked about so far, and you follow step 5, which I'm going to be showing you after this, and you put your unique spin on things, you can definitely hit 10K within 30 days. You could even do it in less time, and depending on how things go, it might take a little bit more. But either way, if you stick at this for a sustained period of time, you will see results. You'll find out some things that do work. You'll learn some lessons from things that don't work, and you'll constantly sharpen your skills and get better and better. Because when you do start hitting it and you do hit that 10K, things start getting exponential, and it's a very, very, very nice feeling. And without further ado, let's dive onto number 5. So, number 5, as you start growing faster and faster and faster, networking becomes key. I pretty much make all of my money thanks to networking. And this is an insanely powerful way to grow. The bigger you are, the more this helps. And this was something that really, really helped me scale up my growth quickly. Because like I had 100K, I believe, on Instagram in my first year. The first sort of like 6 months, I only had like a few thousand. But then just things started taking off because I started networking. I started doing what I'm about to show you. So let's get into it. So what you want to do is reach out to 5 different pages every single day that are your size or slightly bigger in the same niche as you. And what you want to do with them is you want to cross promote. They promote your page, you promote their page. And it's pretty straightforward. You get some of their audience, they get some of yours, you both grow. It's sort of like, bees. It's cross-pollination that goes around and shares the love with everyone. I'm not sure where I'm going with the bees thing, but it's just a great way to grow because you can do that with one person, do it with another, and you keep getting more people come to your account from all these different people that are promoting you, you're promoting them. Everyone's growing, everyone's happy. Not only this, but as you talk to them, you can learn from them. As they're growing, they're going to learn different tips and tricks and will likely give you bits of advice, and you're going to learn bits and pieces which will help them grow. And if you tell them about this channel, tell them to come to subscribe. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and do that. New videos every single week about Instagram, making money online and doing better things with that money. So be sure to subscribe. But as you network, you build up more connections, you learn more, you'll grow faster. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, at first, this may be a pretty small yield. If you've got 3,000 followers and you do a cross promotion with someone else, you might gain 10 followers from it. But then when you get to 30,000, you might be gaining 100 new followers every time you do this. And when you get to 300,000, you're gaining 1,000 new followers every time you do this. And you're doing that a couple times a day. It can pretty quickly add up to a pretty incredible growth strategy. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. There's no tricks to Instagram really going into 2020. In the past, there were different things. You could do mass story viewing, you could do power likes, you could do follow for unfollow, you could use all these different softwares, you could do fan page strategies, there were so many different tricks and hacks and so on in the past. But as someone that's been doing this for like 5 years and consistently got results, in 2020, there isn't really many tricks. It's put out good content, network well, be super consistent with it, really, really care about your audience, and just be very, very consistent with it, because if you're consistent with it, you're never going to lose as long as you're consistently moving forward. You want to set up your profile well. You want to post 3 times every single day using content that's proven to work, and then you want to do that every single day and stick at it. And if you do that, you'll see results. The one thing I will say though is don't pick a super saturated niche. And if you do want to go into those, you can, but you're probably going to want to spend some money to get ahead of the massive amount of people at the bottom of that niche that have got between 100 and sort of about 10,000 followers. And then once you pass them, it's usually sweet. Super saturated niches, I mean, are pretty much like the quotes niche, maybe like the fashion niche, and potentially the fitness niche if you go broad. If you go specific on any one of those niches, you can do super, super well. If you want to talk about specifics of a certain type of fitness or a certain type of workout, you can totally do well. If you want to go into a specific area of business, maybe you talk all about Amazon FBA or YouTube business, totally room for you. But if you go down the same generic path of posting the same quotes that have been posted 10 million times already on Instagram, and what I've gained 500,000 followers doing, then it won't work quite as well. If you'd done that 5 years ago like me, would have worked, but not really in 2020. So make your content original somehow. If you want to go into that niche, niche down a little bit more so you can create a stronger audience. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, like I said, go ahead, subscribe, smash the red subscribe button down below if you aren't already. As I said, I put out a new video every single week, which will soon be going to 2 videos per week once I'm back from the US, which maybe I actually will be by the time this goes live. But yeah, subscribe, leave a like on the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you could do me one favor, send this video to a friend. Send this to a friend that wants to grow on Instagram, and you're going to help them, you're going to help me, you're going to further your relationship with this person because you're sharing them some good content. So just go ahead, do that, tell a mate, and I will see you guys in another video sometime soon. Cheers.